I feel like showing it.
Against this right back, Charlie.
No, certain man, I'm going to have something to say. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and in some cases, good night, people. Deluded, I'm back again. I'm joined by Amenyah. As my comment says here, smash the like button, subscribe. Make sure you're doing the same on his platform. It's in the title. We need to get to 100K before the end of this month. The growth is rapid, and I'm proud of him, man. I'm proud of him. I like to see good guys winning, and actually, I can't lie, he's one of my favorite content creators, bro. Like, you've got the brand, the mixture, better yet, of being shameless, talking facts. And I just like the way you craft shows together and shit, man. So, yeah, keep it up. What you saying, my boy?
Appreciate it, man. Listen, man, I can't complain. I got 4 trophies up for grabs. I'm still there. Certain man got their head packed in, so we take it.
I love the way you tip that off. Like, yeah, Premier League, there's 14 games left. We got a trip to Wembley. At one point, I'd have bit your arm off for 1 trophy, but I think 2's a minimum. 4, we're dreaming. How are you feeling about being back at Wembley, man? And before that, yeah, where do you view the League Cup? Were you one of them, like, you bigger fish to fry and all of that kind of stuff as well?
Nah, I'm not a bigger fish to fry person, but at the same time, like, I'll be honest, I'm not like desperate for the Carabao Cup, innit? Like, prior to obviously getting to the semi-final and whatnot. In my opinion, I feel as though, realistically, obviously for Arsenal, it's a trophy that we haven't won in decades, you know what I mean? And in general, we haven't won a trophy in 5 or 6 years, but before the season, I'm not looking at it as like all right, if we win the Carabao Cup and nothing else, I'm happy. Does that make sense? It should be like a complimentary trophy to add or propel you to a Premier League on top of that one, which hopefully is going to be the case. So I'm not going to pretend like, oh, I rate the Carabao bare, but at the same time, I'm not like just dash it away and get knocked out on purpose. Does that make sense?
You're a better man than me because I'm on the shameless thing. Pep Guardiola's won it the record amount of times. Who am I to look down at this competition when you've got him? It's a day out at Wembley. It's a chance to obviously, it's silverware in it. And I'm with you in that, obviously, in August or whatever have you. Man are not calling just winning the League Cup a success. If you can bring it in, if you get to the final, if you get to the latter stages, great, do your thing. I would say for some fans, which this doesn't apply to yourself or me, when obviously we saw Newcastle win silverware, Palace win silverware, them lot win silverware, there were sections of our fan base saying silver, a trophy's a trophy. I'd rather that over finishing second. So for them and their logic, if we do that, you can't really be giving Mikel Arteta energy, if I'm completely honest, or my football club. Now, for those that are balanced, we'll take any bit of silverware. I do want to ask you, Amenyah, yeah, like, am I wrong for, like I said, I'll be humble, I'll take any silver, ideally the Prem or the Champs, but am I wrong for thinking we've got a good chance of, you know, at least 2 as a minimum?
I mean, again, the Premier League, obviously we are in the driving seat. We have full control over whether that arrives in North London. FA Cup is like a bit of an unknown, innit? You might get like a crazy matchup where on that day you get eliminated. Champions League, you can never really consider yourselves the favorites necessarily when there's teams that, you know what I mean? There's teams that, first of all, are more experienced there than us. And second of all, we saw last season, teams can change from the group stage to the knockouts. But the Premier League, and again, Carabao's a weird one, isn't it? Because, like, in my opinion, had we played, let's say, the final this weekend or something, I think definitely, again, you win. But Man City are so confusing to the point that I don't know exactly what version is going to arrive in 22nd of March. Erling Haaland might start scoring again. Like, Foden might finally, you know, unfreeze and stuff.
Both teams might go through form or have terrible injuries.
What I mean? Injuries. So I do think like a Premier League, obviously favourites right now, and Carabao, I'd suggest Arsenal would be the favourites as well. So yeah.
But it's lovely to hear. And again, chat, any questions and all of those things, get them in, people. I'm sure, man, you'll be happy to have them. I want to share my screen, people, man, and you know, let's get into things. First things first, yeah. Obviously, Chelsea are not the Chelsea it once was, but in fact, first thing, what did you make of the game? Before I ask you some other stuff, what did you make of the game?
Thought it was embarrassing from one team. That's what I'll say it was. I thought it was I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Like, all the talk that I was hearing about, oh yeah, all you got to do is just, go and take on Arsenal and trust me, like they ain't that good, they ain't on nothing. I see 5 back. I'm thinking, okay, that's interesting. But again, Rossini's played 5 back before, so I can't really question it too tough because I'm not watching Strasbourg day in, day out or week in, week out. But then he's literally saying in the interview, yeah, the plan is like second half, you have like Cole Palmer. I'm thinking, hold on. Are we talking about like Wolves here or like Swindon or something? The same as the first leg. They lose, and even the game 1-1 actually in the league, it's like they're so proud of like not winning, which is confusing because the Chelsea that obviously you and I grew up on, in Mourinho times, let's be honest, we used to pat our heads like good boys at times. You know what I mean? Now the roles have reversed and people are talking to Chelsea as if like, yeah, there's some plucky like underdogs, like, yeah, keep on trying, guys. 1-1, they were celebrating. Only losing 3-2, they were celebrating. And then they came here, yeah. Mers have just like not turned up, honestly, man. Wasted everyone's hour, but I'm sure they're going to go and blame Arsenal for the fact that Arsenal are winning and man are playing 5 back with either 0 shot on target and just Enzo spamming 40-yard long shots. Allow it, man.
Yeah, trying his best Steven Gerrard impression, which didn't bang. And you hit the nail on the head in that. I do think Liam Rosenior, the approach in that game, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. Of course, there might have been less energy if you went for it and you're flying forward and all of that kind of jazz. But I do think the initial game plan in the first half, it was okay. Bearing in mind, though, they were in the driving seat. We don't have to play pretty football. We don't have to start doing exciting things. The second half, as you alluded to, the Stalvio and Cole Palmer thing didn't bang. Beyond Enzo spamming shots, they never really had anything. We had at least 2 penalty shots that should have happened. I mean, naturally, Arsenal fans, we want to see us play a bit more exciting and all that kind of jazz. But isolated to that game, it's just about getting the job done. And granted, before this man went and scored, I was of the belief, like the one part of that game I'd say is anything of note for me as an Arsenal fan would have been the last 10 minutes because I saw my boys go, all right, cool. We're not going to get another goal today. We'd rather die than you lot score against us. We did that. Obviously, it's lovely to have Kepa, who's a former Chelsea player. Rice, obviously, getting assists as a former Chelsea man. And this man, Kai Havertz, strike again. And, we're unbeaten in 10. And one thing I'd say to Chelsea fans, this kick in the teeth should give you a lot of inspiration for the league because as Amenyah alluded to, when you drew 1-1 with us, you told us you're the champions of the world, Arsenal overrated, we're in a title shout. I'm never letting Chelsea fans forget that because they drew themselves out. Nobody in the world said Chelsea were in a title race. You lot brought yourself in. It weren't like an Aston Villa thing where you were crap at the start of the season, you're putting runs together and people are inserting you in combos. So I'm on you for life, man. How much of a boost is it to see Kai Havertz back? Not only his goal against Chelsea, but he got minutes and did okay against Leeds. And obviously the Kairat game, him and Gyökeres were doing their thing in that partnership.
Yeah, I mean, it's needed. We know about Havertz from, a couple seasons ago where those final, like you put the title 14 games or whatever, those final 14 games, Kai Havertz was one of the main guys that showed up and delivered. And obviously he offers something different to Gyökeres, different to Gabriel Jesus. Obviously, Mikel Merino. Obviously, Mikel Merino is gone now, but he offers something different to him as well. So it's good to have someone like that. And obviously, he seems very hungry to help out first and foremost. You know what I mean? So it's good to have another body up there, man.
Exactly. And obviously, we'll get onto it, but like that role in behind Gyökeres at this moment in time, Odegaard's form's been a bit shaky and he's apparently injured. Eze, for whatever reason, ain't really doing it. Waneri's gone out on loan. Kind of what you're saying there about the back end of the season. That's for me where I look at the clutch players. And I know many other players could be defined as clutch players, and it's not an ability thing, but Kai has a knack of scoring clutch goals for us. Merino has a hand in that. Rice has done that at time. Magalhaes, when you're in this kind of part of the season, I'm just on this getting the job done thing. That's another question for you. Like, obviously, I've had this conversation with you as well, and this is why I like having balanced fans in that clearly we want to play more attractive football. We think there's many gears to go up defensively, offensively, things for Arteta to do, things for the players to do. But when it's all said and done, if we're saying all of that and we're in this platform in February, we've done okay. Where do you stand on that now? Do you think there's more of a demand for it, for these things that we've been critical on to kind of be addressed? Or are you of the belief of, as if you keep doing this, great, just make sure it ends up in silverware?
Yeah, I think more on the second one. Like, obviously, you want to enjoy playing nice football, I'm not for sure that's going to be the case. And I think performances in general, I would say they do matter quite a lot from, I say match day I would say I'll put it like this here. The first 4 or 5 games of the season, I don't really care about the performance. Just get the wins anyhow you can.
I'd say the first 10. But 10
First,
games
10,
on.
sure, yeah. Anything around that kind of era, like, late September, October, just get the points anyhow you can, and then worry about performances improving. And then when you get to, in my opinion, March, April, May, kind of similar. Again, I don't really care how you're going to get the results. Just do it. So obviously right now, you still want to be in a period where maybe we do start like packing teams in like, with the 3-0s and the 4-0s, a bit like, Leeds away. But performance-wise, I'll be honest, man, I don't really care about that. And I've seen, obviously, you have to argue with people and whatnot. If I win 1-0 with a corner every single game, bro, I'll take it. I don't care, bro.
Amenyah, I'm on that now, like I
even,
want to
even
see
if
us...
they're all own goals as well, but all of them own goals.
I'm on that. I'm so on that. I don't think you understand how on that I am. Like, because the more these lot cry about it, like they move like it's illegal for Arsenal, even though you look at some of the statistics, some of the fans that attack us for being set piece FC, some of you are now above us, some of you are right next to us.
No, they try to defend it. They call themselves the ethical set pieces. That's what
this is what I'm saying. What are you talking about? It's a fucking corner. Pardon my French. Like, the more that happens, the more I want us to score the ugliest goals of all time. I want Martinelli to have a deflected shot that's going for the corner flag. It's hit someone in their eye or their ear, and it's gone in the back of the net by hook or by crook, man. Like, I think a lot of Arsenal fans have to stop. One, I think fans have to accept, like, people are as frustrated as it is, people are going to be disingenuous about our football club. They're going to talk nonsense. So I think we have to accept that. And I do think seeking validation ain't the right way, innit? But I do think some Arsenal fans want validation from external sources. These external sources are not proper football men or women, which can have a laugh and a joke. And a bit like yourself and me, we can do the laugh and the joke thing. This thing is shit, that's shit. But then we can talk ball. The majority of people are not on that. So don't waste energy. Don't feed into it. These journalists, I'm sure I even see some journalists, he's attacking Arsenal fans. It's come out, one thing about Arsenal fans, they'll find your evidence. They're finding out that he said he supported 3 clubs. We've got to ignore these guys, man. And speaking of ignoring, fuck them, Amenyah. We got a question. Big up the Twitch gang. Who do you lot think is the biggest threat in the Champions League for us? Who do you think so?
Ooh, I'll go with 2 because I haven't had time to necessarily think of my full answer, but maybe you might have a similar or different one. One of them, I would say, pretty straightforward, would be like a Barcelona one, because it's hard to know if we'd either slaughter them or they'll give us the slaughtering because of their high line. Like, definitely, if we get impressed quite a lot, we've seen it in games recently where we can be vulnerable. Like, if their whole game is being played in our half and you got Lamine Yamal having as many touches of the ball as he does often, it could be a very, very long day. But at the same time, if Martinelli's in that mood, and he's facing Koundé, who doesn't even know where his high line is meant to be recently. And again, Barca concede about 25 chances a game. Depending on how clinical are, it could be a very long day for Barca as well. And of course, set pieces, they're terrible from that. So that one's a bit of like a double-edged one where it would definitely be like a clash of 2 styles. And the other one, I'll be honest, probably one of the English teams, I don't
Everyone's saying this to me.
No, it's like I'd
rather face them. I can't lie.
You reckon?
I'd rather face them. Devil, innit? I hear it because obviously the way European teams set up against us, there's more space, there's all of that kind of stuff. And I also understand, like Liverpool, for example, Anfield in the Champions League, it could get dark. But I kind of believe that it's like the devil versus the devil you don't know. I mean, we do know these European sides, we've pulled in some good results. I kind of fancy it against them. Like,
but the devils that we don't know are the devils that are, chilling in like 7th and 8th and they're making the playoffs. All the Premier League teams are the ones that are, all the Premier League teams are the ones that are chilling, in the top 4 or top 5 or whatever of the Champions League this season. Obviously, I don't mean Spurs in that one, of course. Like
100%. No.
I mean, they're not included.
Bring them.
The Liverpool and the Cities is mostly what I'm referring to. Again, Chelsea, good dudes, but we'd give them the same lashes that we've been giving them for a number of years now. But yeah, there's just something about, like, I don't know, especially if the Premier League is set up in a certain way, if City are kind of trying to keep fighting, it could be just 2 games that I don't really want to see, to be honest with you. But like I said, Barca's the one that if you catch them on the wrong day, that is probably the most dangerous. And of course, we beat Bayern, but Bayern are always going to be like a dangerous team. So it's a tough one. I'll say Barca. What about you?
It's a difficult one, man, because you said some points that I agree with, especially with the English teams. Like, they're going to be in an intense schedule like us. They're not going to be able to throw games. So I'm kind of on that. I mean, it's cliche. I know Real Madrid are rubbed, but you know they do have that. So I'm gonna ignore that, but just put that out there. That's them. It's a difficult one in truth, because while I like the fact that we've got 8 from 8 and you know we've got to a quarters and then a semis, really and truly, I think it's too early to kind of predict. If I'm honest, I'm gonna go with the first. When I saw that question, for me, I don't know why. I can't look beyond PSG. You are selling me and reminding me of what Barcelona is, especially with what you said around if you catch them on the right or wrong day. Obviously, if we catch them on the wrong day, we're on it. Their system is like dying by the sword, isn't it? Like, I do think we can get at that high line, but we need to commit to it. And as much as I like my boys and my gaffer, I'd be more looking at the gaffer. Your biggest gift and curse, I believe, Arteta, is that you do keep playing the same way and you overthink. You can see where that goes positive or negative. So I would say, to answer that in short, I'll go with Barca as one answer, because you've sold me on that, if I'm honest. And I'd have to go PSG, man. I'd have to, man. I just really rate Luis Enrique. I rate what they're doing. I'm not paying and pennying too much in the league phase, because as we saw last season, teams that were stinking up the place went out and done their thing. So it's a difficult one, man. And in truth, we're not going to know, innit? We're not going to know until it rolls around again.
Yeah, it's true.
So it's a techie one, man. It's a techie one. Less of the Chelsea stuff, because we've been moving to them. But yeah, man, we need to speak in depth. Like, we've got City, 4:30, 22nd of March. Obviously, the last time we played them in this very competition, we got humbled 3-0. Hopefully, the roles reverse. Does it feel like a full circle moment for you with the whole Arsenal versus City rivalry, with Mikel Arteta playing for Arsenal, going to City, and obviously becoming our manager? And, you know, there was even a time where we used to just get smacked by City and not less of that. Then there was a time we'd lose, but we'd kind of compete and there'd be fine margins and there was still pat us on our head. Now we're in that where we're pulling off results and we're playing well against them. And the last time we bucked them, they were camped in their own half, and it fully is a rivalry. Maybe not on paper if you do the shameless looking at silverware thing, but does it feel like a full circle moment for you?
You know what? I'm gonna say no, because again, for me, the full circle moment would be going to Etihad, beating them in the league to go and win the league. Like the Carabao again, like I said, big respect for the Carabao, and of course you want to win it, but I don't think that's like the full circle, because we've beat City in cups before. You know what I mean? Obviously, it was 6 years ago now, but regardless, like beating City at Wembley is not brand new to Arsenal. And again, the Carabao is, you want to win it, but I don't think that's like the end of the story. You know what I mean? Because if you win the Carabao and then City go and win the league, it's like, well, that's not really how you want the story to end. So my closing of the circle is win at the Etihad finally, and that be the statement of, yo, Pep, big up your thing, big respect. You can go and spend time with your family now, man. It's over.
Yeah, man. Like, you've made history, but the thing about history is it moves on, and it's our kind of time. I hear that. For me, I just want to be in these scenarios, innit? Like, for me, and I big up Harry, because we did a video earlier. You have to expect to play teams like this, and you know, City should be filled with confidence. We should be filled with confidence. Side note, and I know I'm going on topic, but off topic. You mentioned the game at the Etihad. For me, and there's no rationale behind this. There's no logic. This is just how I feel as a fan. Not even talking about the points tally and all of this, because there's still many twists and turns. Like, we lost to Man United. It's all crisis. Somehow we're still top, and there's not the same energy. But for me, I think we have to win at the Etihad. I think if we win at the Etihad, something we ain't done in the league in a minute, I will say on my YouTube chat, yep, the league's ours. It's ours. We've won it. I just need, what would be the word? Like that kind of roadblock or that hurdle or that mental block, because we've done all right there, but we haven't won. We haven't won there since Coquelin and Santi was in our midfield. And brother, we can't have them kind of statistics there again, man. So that's where I'm at with that.
Yeah, that one is difficult. Like, I'll be honest with you. I agree with what you're saying, but in my head, the way that I'm looking at, like, let's say the current points gap, I've kind of already, it's bad, but like I've deleted that 3 points. So in theory, I want to go to the Etihad with a gap, let's say, of this current 6 or more. I don't want it to be a 4-point gap going to the Etihad, and then, you know, all they have to do is just like win a game and then bang, that's it, title on. I want it to be a bit of a gap where Arteta can say, you know what, the gap is 7 points. I can slightly go for this and make a statement. I feel like if we're 4 points ahead, he's gonna maybe not on the market thing, but yeah, like, you know what, get a 0-0, no points gap is closed, and then leave. But obviously, I agree with you. It's just in my head, I look at it as those 3 points are kind of gone. That's to give myself some bit of copium when I'm looking at the league table. You know what I mean?
I don't think you're wrong, man, because there's obviously a reality where you beat City and lose the title, or you don't win over there, and the vice versa happens. I did want to ask you, yeah, as much as because I look at this League Cup beyond the obvious, like obviously we want to win other stuff, but on top of the obvious, like we want silverware, we want the fans to be out there at Wembley, we want the players to get a bit of a wet appetite with winning silverware. Obviously, if you go and win this domestic cup, yeah, it can give you a boost. By that logic, yeah, do you think it could be a negative? Like if you lose, you could spiral. If you win, you could kind of kick on, like
Yeah,
yin and yang
again,
kind of thing.
I think it massively depends on what we do in the next 5 weeks, to be honest with you. Because if we're, but that
True.
is an interesting picture they've used, by the way. But hey, fair enough, man. No, fair, isn't it? Like, bro, you ain't got no other photos, but fair enough. Anyway, you just put me off my point now. In the next 5 or 6 weeks, yeah, if we're racking up wins and things are looking, confident, I think losing the Carabao wouldn't be like the end of the world. But like I said, if the gap is closing and City get like a convincing win, then the doubts creep in rather. Because what we're seeing, which by the way, one thing that I didn't like actually about the game against Chelsea, you can sense the nervousness in the crowds, and that is naturally gonna seep into the players. Like, bro, I'm watching it. I didn't go to the game. I was watching it on Sky. Why can't I hear like the airplanes and that in the sky, bro? That the crowd was too silent. And again, I feel like a cup final will be different. Everyone's gonna be up for it and cheering, and it's Wembley and whatnot. But like I said, if you don't win that, you're gonna get the usual just super negative people that are saying, "Oh, it's over. That's it. Everything's gonna collapse."
Engagement hype, engagement
It's
farming.
about them being able to like not, kind of zone that out and just keep getting the wins you're getting. So it all depends on how we do in the next 5 weeks. Like if the gap extends beyond 6, dream scenario, we win this weekend, Liverpool do us a nice little favor, and then I'll be honest, at that point I think I'm comfy. If it touches 9, therefore double digits. If it touches double digits, it's over for me personally.
There's 14 games left, man. If we're not, I don't want to be that guy, but if we're not gonna do it now, we're never gonna do it. And on one hand, it's left foot in front of the right, tranquillo and whatnot. But it's like the more I'm seeing from the boys, the more I'm believing. It's like we've come too far to turn back. But before I ask you about this year, this is a decent question from Dank, what a name. Is it fair to say that we are the team nobody wants to face at the moment in the champs? Now, for me, yes and no. I think we're part of that cohesion in that everyone can understand, I'd rather not play, if I'm an Arsenal, I'd rather not play Arsenal, Real Madrid, PSG. Like nobody in the ideal world wants to play each other. I think we're part of that. I don't think we're the underlying favorites no one wants to buck. That being said, though, I do think a lot of talk around Arsenal Football Club in this country is very disingenuous. I think if you want to have fair points around how Arsenal's viewed, just look at how like European coaches and pundits and all them kind of guys speak about us. So maybe by that logic, in my mind, we might be the team nobody wants to face type of thing. But where you at with that, Amenyah?
Yeah, I'm on the kind of the same boat as you. I've seen, granted, it doesn't mean it's representative of the whole world or the whole fan base, but I've seen a lot of Barca fans when watching Arsenal saying, yo, I can't lie, like Barca themselves, like they're saying, yeah, we're great, but we do not want to face Arsenal purely because of, first and foremost, the set pieces. I can't lie. When we're spamming the set pieces and then you go and watch Barca against, it can be Copenhagen, it can be whatever team they're playing against, they look very, 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 very flimsy from them. And naturally, Arsenal's a team that, like you said, in Europe, people are rating it a bit more. Naturally, you're going to get like, I don't know, Madrid fans saying we want to play again to get revenge or whatever. But again, at the same time, they ain't looking forward to go into Emirates again. You know what I mean? So it's, we're seeing, in the Premier League this season even, I know we've got to speak about the Carabao and then the Etihad game, but I've not seen Pep go to the Emirates and defend like that in my life before, bro. So teams definitely are fearful. I don't know about that the most fearful, because again, PSG, you have to respect them as the current champions. Even if they're kind of looking a bit dodged this season, we know they can just turn that around. So right here, right now, certainly, we're in that 2 or 3 teams that I don't think anybody would want to be
exactly
on that side of the draw. So
what do you make of this, man? And I'll read it out if anyone's listening on the audio, people. If Arsenal and City are drawn on the same side of the Champions League knockouts, there's a chance they could face each other 3 times in 10 days in April. So that would obviously be, people, the quarterfinals, first leg of the Champions League, the second leg, and match day 33, which me and Amenyah have been alluding to, the game at the Etihad. Now you sprinkle in the cup final. What do you make of this? Like,
It'll definitely be entertaining for the neutrals, or I don't think there is any neutrals. To be fair, it's either
everyone talks for City, bro,
or you're just an Arsenal fan. But it definitely would be very entertaining. I'm not sure if my heart personally could take that many games against City because it's just, I will be real, it's going to be a bit stressful. But if it means that we are getting to Champions League quarterfinals and semi-finals and whatnot, then as bait as it is, we say the same thing all the time. You do have to eventually beat the good teams. You can't just like spam your way through, big respect like Karabag and that. You know what I mean? You have to at some point
to be the best. You got to beat the best type thing.
Yeah, but I don't like 3 times in 10 days. It's a little bit too much. I can't lie. It's a little bit too far.
Do you know what, Amenyah? It's a weird one because I make you right and I agree with it, yeah. But they probably don't want to buck us. And in terms of this level of Manchester City, like this current state, could argue there's never been a best time to kind of play them. Like it's not like they're not kind of playing to that high level. Like, listen, I can never disrespect Pep Guardiola, but he hasn't found any solutions. Obviously, they brought in Amenyah, great, Gurhi, great, but we all know it weren't just a case of plugging those players in. They're still kind of struggling. The latest being against Tottenham Hotspur, where the way they looked in the first half versus the second half was terrible. So a part of me would say, do you know what? While I agree that my heart would be doing the most, this is probably the one season I'm the most comfortable about it, if I'm honest with you, man, because I actually think Pep's going to walk.
You reckon at the end of the season?
Yeah, man, and it's like you know me because we talk all the time. Yeah, like I like Pep Guardiola as a manager, and I'm not saying I don't know how to pick my words, but I'm not saying he's lacking fight, he's lacking desire. But I've said to you before, I feel for a while he's wanted to leave City because of how intense being a manager is, the good, the bad, the ugly. It's his longest tenure. I think they've just begged him to stay because they don't really know like the other pattern now. Had they have had Mikel Arteta or a company still part of their regimes, I think he would have cut. I just think I look at some of the signings, and granted, you could sit there and tell me on paper, Haaland, as great as he is, isn't a Pep Guardiola signing, yeah. But some of the signings, I'm like, oh, Pep could get a trick out of it. Some of it is like maybe Pep asked, maybe Pep can get a trick out of them. Maybe there's an element of future kind of proofing. Maybe the next manager's got kind of new players to pick and choose from. And I just think he's exhausted. And I said this on my watch along yesterday. It was years ago, so I can't really remember word for word, but I've read, he's got bare books, but I remember reading one of his autobiographies, and he was talking around like when he went on his sabbatical and what led to it type of thing. And again, I ain't got no examples, but like the way he was talking that many years ago, or what's put in that book, I kind of see it now, if it makes sense. So I think this might just be it. The only thing that would make me think not is, from what I know of Pep, I don't think he wants to leave through the back door. I think he would only leave if he cops a Prem, cops a Champs. Obviously, I'm going to disregard the domestic cups because I think it's a major sort of thing. I just maybe they even need a new voice. And to be fair, I think the league needs it because I do think it's an even playing field. I think once Pep leaves, now you're fully in a period where 1 year Arsenal could win it, Chelsea could win it, United could win it, Liverpool could win it, Spurs, now I'm chatting shit, but the other teams could definitely win it, sort of thing. So we need this. But I'm on it, man. That's my birthday. Well, I'm born on the 13th. Ooh, Arsenal. Please, man. Don't mess about around there, man. Like, you know what? Let's deal with the Champions League when it comes into it. What do you make of this with Mikel Arteta? Because obviously Arsenal have now won a 2-legged semi-final in any competition for the first time under him. Don't want to remind you about Villarreal, but Villarreal didn't go the way we wanted. This very competition the following year didn't. Neither did last season in the League Cup. Obviously, unfortunately, we couldn't overcome PSG, and we've overcome Chelsea. Like, does this give you any confidence? Like, where are you at with this?
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I think, in my opinion, again, the PSG one is unfortunate. I think I wouldn't put that much of it on Arteta. I think maybe the main one that you could say is on Arteta out of all of those is probably the Newcastle one, man.
Don't forget Villarreal, Amenyah.
No, but you know what? Again, I know
it's 9. I can't lie, he was moving mad. It was a different period, but he was moving mad.
That's what, like, yeah, it's harder for me to judge that one because that version of Arsenal was just obviously you should still be beating Villarreal, and you go to Europa League, you have to go and try and win it. But
this is on the players, that's on the gaffer.
For me, like, I think losing 2-0 at home to Newcastle, and I was there for that one. That was like, for me, that was shameful. I can't lie, and that's on everyone. The players, the gaffer, that one's on everyone, and that's a period of time where, again, I felt like we were a team that could go and bop anyone. So
and to lose home and away leg as well.
Yeah, that was a bit flimsy. But overall, like, kind of honest with you, I don't even remember the Liverpool one that much. Like, Carabao is just something that
Yeah, I'm not gonna cap. I don't remember that one too.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
I don't remember that one.
I can't even
remember Liverpool in the FA Cup when they dumped us out when we couldn't finish our dinner.
Yeah. So like,
wait, R.I.P. That might have been Jota. I could be wrong, but yeah,
it may have been maybe when he sent someone like skating or something.
I feel like Jota. He done that all the time. God bless his soul. But yeah, I can't remember that either.
No, it's good to obviously get back into a final, isn't it? Because in general, Wembley, we do pretty well there, you know what I mean? For the most part. Again, Carabao may be a different story, but FA Cups and this kind of stuff, we don't really lose that many finals at Wembley. So hopefully that can
jinx us.
That can continue. I don't believe in jinx, man. I don't believe in jinx. Am I gonna go?
I'm trying to call, man. My ticket links are it's looking unsuccessful right now, but where there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah, I have to try and find a way to pattern it or something, but at the moment, no guaranteed plans to be rolling now.
I'm gonna either be the greatest man on YouTube that day or the worst, because if I don't get a ticket, I'm doing what I do in Football Manager, man. I'm sitting here in a suit, man. Like I know the draw outs if we don't win.
Yeah. But at this point, whether you wear a suit or don't wear a suit, they're still gonna get at you. So you might as well just do whatever, innit?
Exactly. They're just gonna, and people are gonna be disingenuous. And I don't need anyone else to support Arsenal Football Club, but the only people that will genuinely be supporting Arsenal that are not connected to our club will probably be the football romantics who talk about 115 charges. I would say the real Manchester United fans, the ones that are actually in Manchester, not the Peckham Reds, and then the rest of the world. Like there's teams, like even on TalkSport, bro, Fulham fans are beefing me. I'm like, bro, like. Man, don't know you. It's like, I've got no problem with Fulham. Like, if it's not Fulham, it's Newcastle, it's this one, it's that one. But off topic, did you watch City Newcastle yesterday?
No. I mean, to start with, but I'll be real. Like, the moment they score, it's like, okay, big up your team, man. Like,
I didn't watch it. I couldn't believe it. Like, no, Newcastle was shaky, but horrible, bro.
Yeah. I mean, the City's, they're a weird team. Like, from what I gather, it was the same as basically every other game where the first half, they go and smoke a team. Second half, the other team, City completely collapsed, but Newcastle just kept on missing chances from the highlights that I saw afterwards. It's just
they had a couple chances. They had a couple in the first and second, but they were shit, bro.
Yeah, Wissa trolling, Voltemada trolling is like, again, it's hard for me genuinely to properly get up for the Carabao, like especially if it's another team that is not my own team. You know what I mean? So I don't know. But listen, if Arsenal win it, suddenly, hey, what a trophy that is! Trust me.
It's an amazing trophy if we win. Before I forget, what have you made? Not that we've been exposed to it on a consistent basis. Bit of a double-edged question. What have you made of Gyökeres in general? I think he's got 6 GA in 6 games now. Is he finding his feet? All of that stuff. What did you make of him and Havertz's connection when we have seen it?
It's been interesting. It's what I'll first call it. Obviously, the Kyrat game, I guess, is the first instance we got to see of that.
Anything that's not pre-season, official capacity, you're right.
Yeah. And that looked pretty good. But again, obviously, the massive caveat is that it's Kyrat Almaty, a team that had 1 point in the Champions League. So it's hard to really make any conclusions about it right now when we haven't seen them line up together in a game that really means anything. You know what I mean? Like that Kyrat game, honestly, you can just go and do whatever you want, man. Like me personally, I'm not even like a super fan of Havertz playing in midfield. I really dislike it, especially after what we've seen, a couple of years.
But with Odegaard, I'm on it now.
That's what so I hear it. But at the same time, do I want to see that week in, week out? Not quite. But against the likes of Kyrat, it's calm. I think what I do like is that both of them, and Jesus included, to make it 3 of them, they aren't like, there's a rivalry, obviously, because you want to start, but they won't be selfish in terms of like, they want the others to do well. Do you know what I mean? When one scores, the others are...
The collective comes first.
They want to say, I think it was Jesus after the Inter game, I think it was, he bagged the brace and he was like, yeah, listen, it don't matter like about who starts on the weekend. If it's not me, I hope Kai comes back and he scores. I'm sure Vic is going to score.
And they've all had comments like that as well.
You know what I mean? So it's good. But in terms of how they play together, honestly, I don't have enough of a sample size to judge. I hope it could be a nice little 4-4-2 where they're both, pressing in certain games, but I don't know yet, and I don't know.
No, I only ask because, like, as much as I like what Arteta is doing, I think we're getting to that part of the season where, obviously, to a degree, performance always matter, but we have to. It's just the results. 2, I call it Bandulu season. The players that are not necessarily the biggest shirt sellers or whatnot, or people that divide opinion, the Marinos, the Kai Havertzes, these are the men that are going to end up making the kind of difference. And for me, obviously we've been playing this way for us a while now. We've obviously got to where we've got to. The caveat to that is you do not that you become predictable, but teams clock you in it because you've got if you're known for a distinctive brand like Tiki Taka, which we're not, people know that you play Tiki Taka. They've got times to do solutions. So for me, I did want to see us exposed to new, different relationships in that. Like you said, I might not necessarily want to see Gyökeres and Kai Havertz for 10 games, but there might be a 3-4 game period where that could happen. And I think Leeds was great in a sense that I don't think it was anything to scream and shout about, but they both kind of play the same way. They invade space. It opens up gaps for others. Then you've got Odegaard being looked like in a different light because you've come out the firing line. I know he's injured, apparently. We'll get on to him. But he's come off the bench when the game state's changed. There's a lot more spacing. You saw his involvements in the goals. And I have to say sorry to Gabriel Jesus. Off topic. I'm going off on a tangent. But I have to say sorry to Gabriel Jesus. As the president of the Gabriel Jesus fan club, it's important to remain honest. He has been shit since he's came back from his injury. He was amazing against Inter Milan. When he came on against Leeds, I did utter them words. Arteta, why is he bringing him on? And then obviously, I'm a Brazilian. He scored. I then had to say, I don't know who said it, but they must really be deluded. So big up Gabriel Jesus for that one, man. You got a question. Amenyah, where are you at with the unfortunate inconsistency of Odegaard, Saka, Eze, etc.? Let's start with Martin. Because in one type of thing.
Sure. The Odegaard one, I think we may have spoken about it the previous time when I said, but it's kind of the same thing again, where I don't really know what the issue is right now, because there are some times when he comes back from injury and I'm thinking, you know what? Yeah, like you're cooking. Then he gets injured again. He comes back and it's like very, very timid, or it's just not really trying to jump up for the headers and whatnot. So I'm like, I don't know for him. He definitely deserves to get benched a couple games, and I feel like that will ignite something in him a little bit to say, yo, you know what? All right, I may be the captain, but I'm not locked in permanently. Like, I'm going to start 24/7 every single game. It's not ideal. There are some games where he's come on and he's been incredible. I think of like Newcastle, for example, a team that is very
Leeds as well.
Physical. Leeds, like he comes on and he looks a lot more, proactive. Even the Leeds game, we see him operating a bit on the left, even to get the assist for Jesus' goal. So stuff like that, I'm like, you know what? I've seen that there's a player in Odegaard. It's not as though like he had one good year, then he's been.
Yeah, no, man can't say he's not a baller.
So like, I know what you're capable of, but yeah, it'll be nice to see that a bit more often. You know what I mean? So
on Odegaard as well. Yeah, said to cut you if you were going to say anything. Do you think obviously, you're not the manager, but naturally, I always think about evolution. Like, by God's grace, we win the League Cup, the Prem, we win everything, or we win at least 2 trophies. But the guys that helped rebuild this thing aren't necessarily the guys that helped us get Champions League. They're not necessarily the guys that helped us get it again. They're not necessarily the guys that helped us in either title race. They're not the guys that might help us win a Premier League, might not be here to help us win a second one, or might not be required to, win a Champions League or 2. So I do believe in evolution from a footballing sense. Naturally, it happens. Players evolve, and that's not always a bad thing. Big up Benjamin White. He's arguably a starter at many teams, and he could start for Arsenal. But to use him as an example as to how it's not bad. Yeah. Obviously, once upon a time, you was one of the first names on the team sheet. You're not necessarily that. There's no worries. There's a lot of football. It's a squad thing. Do you think whether it's because of inconsistencies, whether it's because of changing demands, do you think like we're evolving away from Odegaard as a bona fide starter potentially?
As a guaranteed starter, yes. I still think there's a lot for him to offer, at the club. Now, obviously, I'm sure everyone on that lives on Twitter, they know about the whole talks of sell him and do the Coutinho thing and then go do this and go do that. Obviously, like in a hypothetical world where you knew what was going to happen and you were like, oh yeah, you're going to sell Odegaard for 78, you're going to get this guy and that guy and going to go and win Champions League and Premier League.
78 on Odegaard, respectfully.
Yeah, but I'm just, for the sake of the example.
No, because that's not me saying you say that. That is something I do see. So I make you right on social media.
Yeah, so it's like, if that is to be the case and we know that it's going to lead to Prems and Champions Leagues, then yeah, I'll be honest, there's not really anyone that is, bar maybe 2 or 3 players, like everyone, basically, if you tell me you're going to win this, and this, but you must sell Odegaard, bro, cool, man. There's not many players that I love enough to say, just stay. I don't care about anything. If you tell me you sacrifice Odegaard and it means you're going to win Champions League, love for that, bro. Thank you so much. It's been a great 5-6 years.
Only 30 million as well. You did your thing, Odegaard, man.
Yeah, but the ideal scenario is he get back to the form that, not even from, a year and a bit ago, but just this season, even from before, like I think it was like West Ham at home. I think he got injured and
He got injured again. Yeah,
home ones. So like, I know it's there. It just needs to be freed at some point, hopefully.
you touched on it, yeah, and I got to ask you. Touched on. You said something there in a like comment, like there's not something along the lines of there's not too many players that you didn't say unsellables, but for want of a better word, unsellable. Yeah, who would be the unsellables in this team for you? Because I know mine. We all know people. Everybody's got an asking price. It is what it is. But what? Who would be the 4 or 5, if not more, for you?
4 or 5 that I wouldn't sell for prices. Yeah. Okay.
Or if you don't have 4 or 5, if you got
No,
less,
I'm just yeah. I'll think of it now. I mean, I just don't think you're gonna get any sort of similar caliber player to Rice anywhere. First and foremost,
that's one for me.
Then you've got obviously Haaland, Saka. I think no matter what, like he's got so much credit in the bank that I don't want him to have like a horrible entire season, but the guy could do. And in theory, I would say, hey, listen, August, we go again, bro. That was a bad year. You go again.
Facts.
And then other than that, for me, it's just the centre backs. I wouldn't want to see go anywhere. You know what I mean?
So that's
like
4.
I think that's the best that we have. Everyone else, I love pretty much all the players.
You missed that one. Oh, Amenyah, I was with you.
What?
You missed that one. You've got Gabriel, Saliba.
Wait, as in completely unsellable. Like,
Rice. Yeah. There's one more name.
There's brothers that I love, but like for a certain fee.
No, there's one more name.
I don't know who you're referring to.
Are you for real?
Who are you referring to? I don't know who you're referring to.
Timber.
That's my dog. That's for me. That's the second best right back in the world. But if you offer me,
how can you not be part of that?
No, because if you offer me a crazy amount, there's like players that I can get and still do like a really, really good job. You know what I mean?
Put a number on it for Timber. Humor me, please.
I wouldn't sell Timber for anything less than genuinely, like, because I love him that much. Like less than 80, I wouldn't. Like, if I'm gonna sell Timber, that means I'm going for like either I'm going big for the Hakimis and these man, or it's only Hakimi above him in my opinion, or it's like I get crazy money. I invest that in let's say a Livramento or someone that's not as good as Timber, but
and you're gonna do a mad thing with the rest of the funds.
I have bread elsewhere. Do you know what I mean? Whereas the other players, it's like I know that you sell Rice as an example. Whoever you get is not going to be the same. Gabriel and Saliba, that partnership, whatever you do there, I know guys again, you know, big respect like Hincapié and even Mosquera when he played a little bit. They done, you know, good jobs. Gabriel and Saliba, doesn't matter who you sign instead, it's just not going to be the same thing. That's why I say they're more like untouchable. It don't mean that I don't love Timber or bro. There's plenty of these players that I would really want to. I want to keep Lewis Skelly no matter what. You know what I mean? Because
he's another one for me.
But you get what I mean.
His one is just me being biased.
Yeah, so biased. There's definitely players like that, but those are the 4 that I think. Timber will be the 5th one if I had to make it. If I had to make it 5,
but yeah, now my one would be obviously yours is 4, mine's 5, with the exception of Timber. Then I'd probably have like another. It's dumb, but I'd probably have. You're not quite untouchable, but you're my dogs. Like you're not going. And then I got players where you help us out, but you can kind of move.
I got one more.
You got one more.
Max ain't going nowhere, bro.
Oh yeah, Max Dowman.
Stay there for life.
Yeah, Max Dowman, death row contract. Even though you might not be a popular
bro.
for this long, we need a 50-year deal for you. You're not going nowhere, bro. Just stay in school, do your thing. We need you, man. I need to see 11 Haalanders out there. I know we're never going to see it, but that's one step closer to the impossible dream. Free Wanyeri as well. Do your thing over there in France. What do you make of the inconsistencies around Saka as well? You alluded to it slightly, but to answer Rob's question, where you at? Because you can't tell me nothing about Saka.
Saka's one's a bit different. Like I think the way that guys talk about him is a bit confusing. Again, there's always going to be the super polar opposites of some guys pretending like everything is blessed,
being selfish,
and then others, bro. I'm seeing people that are like super Gyökeres fans at Arsenal getting onto Saka. If it's rivals, I hear it. Like man are gonna do the trolling thing and get the clips and whatnot. Arsenal fans themselves getting onto Saka is baffling to me. Now, obviously, you can use commenting and say, you know what? The goals should be more. There's a few games where he does get a chance in the last 15, 20. And he should be, bless you, he should be bagging and scoring these goals. So definitely the finishing needs to improve. But his all-round play in general, in my opinion, hasn't been that bad. So when guys, for example, when I'm speaking about other players and other, teams and whatnot, for example, the likes of, again, this season in particular, like Salah this season, or when I speak about Foden this season, or Cole Palmer, the reason why Saka, in my opinion, isn't in the same bracket is because those guys aren't putting up numbers, but they're also playing dead. They are being a hindrance to their team. I don't think Saka is hindering Arsenal. Does that make sense? So the numbers aren't arriving, so I agree he should be scoring more goals. But I don't look at games of Saka and say, you know what, you've been dead today. I think every fullback he's played against, pretty much, the likes of DeMarco at Inter, when we played Atleti, Cucurella struggled with him as well. The left backs this season have struggled with Saka, whether he's cutting in or going down the byline. But factually speaking, the goals haven't been there, so that's what needs to click. But the other guys, they're playing bad. They're trying to play passes. It's hitting the advertising boards. You know what I mean? They're not completing dribbles. They've got a goalkeeper making more dribbles.
They're running from the grind.
Yeah, so I think it's a bit different when guys say, "Oh, but why don't you speak about Saka?" They say it's not the same thing. But there we are.
And also on top of that, yeah, everything Amenyah said, he speaks for me. I'm with that. But also, bro, I can't lie. In life, if life was fair, we'd all have a lot less. I'm gonna be biased, bro. Saka's done the mad thing for us for bare years, and we're not gonna allow him a tiny bit. Even last year, the man had a mad injury, came back against Fulham, came back against Real Madrid at home, done his thing, went to the Bernabeu, missed a penalty, had a little smirk. Carvajal tried to rattle him. He went and bagged. You can't just, I know it's not about what you did in the past, but I do think it's a bit mad that people turn on certain men, especially like Bukayo, and at the first little port. Now I get it. We're used to. We've got a good Bukayo Saka at the moment. We're used to a great one. We all know he could score a lot more goals. There is that caveat where I think some of his best games, not that he scored many goals this season, but a lot of his best games have been when he has not bagged. Fulham away comes to mind, but. Listen, I'm never gonna be scared about Bukayo. He's gonna get back to it. He always does. Talk to me about Eze, because that's another name there. Like inconsistencies around Eze. I think people are a bit harsh on the Chelsea game because I don't think it was a game for all of that. But he's and you could say he's not been provided opportunities, but he's not grabbed anything. And we've spoken about Odegaard's inconsistencies. We're obviously on to Eze. Marino might not be the cup of tea, but that's another one in that role. And Wanyeri went out on loan. That role. I am looking at it. That Odegaard role in R11, I'm looking at it, whoever's out there, because I need you lot to, someone needs to do their thing. But where are you at with that?
Yeah, I think my one is starting to change a little bit on this one, because I think the last time when we would have spoken about it, we were talking about, obviously, it's a long season and there's going to be bare games, left wing, playing the 10, whatever. But in the last, let's say, month or so since I've been, I don't remember exactly last time I was on, but the last month or so, the performances haven't really been anything to tell Arteta, yo, like, you must start me. You know what I mean? Even with Odegaard being injured or Havertz, kind of being 50-50 or Marino now, going down injured. We haven't seen any Eze games where it's like, yeah, you must start me by force now, which is what I was hoping to have seen at least one time. But again, it still is a long season.
Newcastle away.
There's about 20 games left, roughly speaking, obviously maybe 25, I don't know. But there's enough games to make an impact. But the last month hasn't been what I, or probably even he himself, would have expected so far. Obviously, it's not easy when you've not been playing games to just come in and straight away be clicking. So, you got to allow him for that one. But at the same time, we can't really run the nonchalant thing in a title race. You know what I mean? I want to see grab the ball, drive forward. Don't now. Obviously, again, I don't know how much of these things are like instructed, right? Where we know he's a certain way at Palace, he's not going to be coached the same way at Arsenal. But sometimes, sometimes you go do the thing where you see even managers or players, rather, they'll tell us the manager told me to do this, but on this one occasion, I was like, you know what, loud, bro.
The free kick last year from Rice, or wasn't it the other day? Cherky got like a Ramona assist or something, and he said, "Don't be doing all of that. Sometimes you gotta risk it for a biscuit, man.
Sometimes you just do it. You firm the telling off or the head writing, but you say, yeah, listen, my bad, but
it was wavy, gaffer. Come on,
like my bad, but it was cold, didn't it? Like low key, it was cold. Just sometimes, just take the ball in the half turn, just drive, and put a little slide rule ball to Martinelli or Saka, whoever it is that's going to be playing. But yeah, last month hasn't been the best, but I'm still very hopeful that we'll get a good 3 months or 4 months remaining of the season. And listen, man, the price tag was very much comfy the moment he bagged that hat trick on their head tops, man. I'll be honest. So,
and they're forcing the Xavi Simons thing as well. First time I see him turn up against City, like Eze's not 30. Do you think
that day though? I can't lie, bro.
No, I can't lie. I'd say that's the best game I've seen of him in his first shirt. I'm not gonna. I can't hate.
Yeah. And it was for us as well that you done it for. So love for that one as well, man.
No, not for me. They did it for themselves, man. Don't like. I was a bit. I must admit, you know me, innit? Me and you go to war with this. I'm always on the I'd rather City batter them type of thing. And I must admit, I understand it now. I understand the feeling post drawing that, all right, cool. Arsenal did their job.
I didn't watch long. Was there a little bit of like a when Solanke scored? Or...
No. I was in my element. It's shameless. Big up Solanke because he's an Arsenal fan. They're trying to say that goes better than Giroud, which is mad, but I get it now. I was entertained because that is. I always think people do this talking about Arsenal being entertaining, and we've spoken about it. You defo speak about it at length. I do as well, so it's boring, isn't it? But it's one thing talking about Arsenal. I would say look at the wider landscape, definitely in this country. How many games do you watch week in, week out that are entertaining? 9 times out of 10, yes, there's bigger games, yeah, but 9 times out of 10, it's not like Arsenal versus City is not going to be entertaining. Arsenal versus Liverpool isn't. If you're a nerd and you like invertedness and heat maps, that's entertaining for you. But casual excitement, it's not going to be there. Like, I think that game was one of those, innit, people? So, yeah, I got you. That was kind of cool, innit? I think entertaining games, I think that draw, I would say the drama around United and Fulham. So, yeah, man, when my biggest thing is football's not entertaining in this country. It's not entertaining anymore, but that's neither here nor there. I do think on the Eze thing, you might just have to do me a little shift on the left-hand side. You know, we spoke earlier, Amenyah, about Gyökeres and Kai's relationship. One thing I've been annoyed to not really see it for, and it's not, I'm not blaming Arteta because sometimes it's not been the right conditions. Man have been injured and other players have been in great form, but Odegaard and Eze, good players, know how to play with good players. They always trying to find each other, but that's more of a next season thing. I'd say for Eze, bro, it's looking like a left wing thing now. Obviously, with Odegaard's injury, that might be your opportunity. What else did I want to ask you about, man? Obviously, big up Eze. We're going to Wembley. We've gone over the points gap, but just is so good. Let's look at the table again. I must admit, like, I wanted, that's a quick question to ask you, because I can't call it. Top 4. I want to say top 5, but 5th is Bandulu, in it. You don't really know how that's running for people. What do you think the top 4 is going to be? Obviously, I'd imagine you've got Arsenal and City. Who gets 3rd and 4th?
Yeah, it's a very difficult one, because so I do this like every week where like when I'm doing
that's why I'm asking you this.
Afterwards, I'm like, okay, you man, what do you reckon? Has anything changed? What do we think? Arsenal 1, City 2 is like kind of locked for me. I honestly, I just don't rate Aston Villa that much, man. I've been saying from time, like, big respect, like, keep grinding, but you're not in this race, and eventually you're gonna be looking behind you if you go far in Europa League. United are a bit confusing as well, whereby against City, incredible. Against us, they were good as well, and like they got the win. Against Fulham, I don't actually think they were that good, funnily enough, but they got the win.
3 points, innit?
Fair play. I don't know how long that will continue for. I can see Liverpool doing a job, to be fair. I do think Liverpool,
especially if they beat City on the weekend.
Yeah, Liverpool. Basically, out of these 4 teams, I think Liverpool are probably the best team there. But again, injuries and like, they haven't got a lot of depth, in my opinion, right now, given, let's say, how many midfielders are available. And if Ekitike is not there, again, long day. So, my final answer, I'll go Arsenal, City. Villa's gap is, they might scrape it. Villa will hold on somewhere. It might be a 4th thing. And I think I'm going to go Liverpool for the other one,
So, Arsenal, City, Villa, Liverpool.
Yeah.
It's a weird one, man, because if you asked me at some point this season, I've defo said Liverpool are defo going to get it. I've defo said Chelsea are defo going to get it. Obviously, Aston Villa, they sucked at the start of the season. They're like a cold for them. Look down there, like they're a cold that won't go away in it. Like it's like a joke that's gone too far now. Like a part of me does feel they'll run out of steam. They do have some topsy-turvy results. They are getting some injuries. Emre does look like he's losing his bottle. I think United will do it, It sounds mad, and I haven't got a good case study, but one game a week, Carrick and that. But the problem is who drops out. It's like, I do think Liverpool are going to be there. If you put a gun to my head, then, you know what, on the 5th of February, you got a gun to my head. Arsenal, City, Liverpool, United.
It could easily be Villa drop out, bro. That's the thing. Like, I don't think anyone can say with confidence these other ones, because one of the things
anywhere as well, like.
and the Champions League race all season has basically been like, they talk about like Arsenal being like, winning because everyone else is dead. The Champions League race is genuinely who's the least dead out of all these teams, because you get a chance to like consolidate a spot in the top 4, you drop points. You know, you mess up, you get a draw, you lose this game. So it's like none of them really want it. But obviously on current form, United are definitely the strongest. I just would like to see how long that will last. Delete that message, bro. Remove the... Yeah, get that energy off, man. Don't want to see that, bro.
And the thing is, yeah, fifth can save you in it, but I've purposely said top 4 because fifth is Banduli. Like, I genuinely think if you're Liverpool, if you're Chelsea, if you're United, even if you're Liverpool, maybe Brentford. Big up Brentford as well, by the way. We've got the next Thursday. Obviously, if you finish fifth and you get champs, great. And you know in the back of your mind that, yo, this can get Champions League football and whatnot. But I don't feel you should be looking at that. If I'm United, it's not that I'm looking at fourth place. Mentally, I'm trying to target Villa because obviously if I aim for third and I get fourth, I'm great. So I'm happy we're not involved. And like you said or alluded to, yeah, at the end of the day, if you're fighting for third to fifth and you're in and around that, yeah, in a weird way, it is a battle of the inconsistent. Because I always used to say this when this was Arsenal, like fourth is inconsistent. You're not quite consistent enough to mount a title challenge. You're slightly more consistent than those below you. So yeah, man, there's definitely no bottling talk. It's coming home. There's 2 trophies. Screenshot this. Why do you think I go to war on these platforms for Arsenal? Because I finally believe, man. Obviously, man, we've got probably about 10 minutes left of Amenyah, yeah. So we've got to move through certain things. Talk to me about Sunderland, because we've done a lot of, you know, talking about the champs and somewhat dreaming about winning multiple trophies. We know we're in a final. Obviously, we're back in reality now. It's one thing Liverpool beating City and indirectly doing us a favour. It's another thing us doing our job. So what do you make of Sunderland? Is it a big game? Do you expect a tough game? Like everything Sunderland, my boy.
Of course it's going to be a big game. I mean, even if you take away the context of obviously that late goal they scored against us at Stadium of Light, regardless, they've been great pretty much all season for the most part. I'll say like they had maybe a spell of like 5 games, like a month or so ago, where go a little bit rocky. But again, you can maybe put that one down to AFCON a little bit. Everyone's back now, and they're really good again. Now, I think Xhaka's out, right? I think you even tapped in the thing. I think Xhaka is not available.
So allegedly, you know, managers like to lie. But
yeah, I don't know for certain, but that would be big. But at the same time, bro, Sunderland having depth is crazy. So for sure, we have to get the win because we've spoken about it before. But you know, City have a huge game this weekend. This is a 3 points that if you secure that, you can sit back. Like the best part of the weekend is when you win and you can just sit back and watch the other games. Do a hate watch thing and just hope for the best. Like you're not like when I watched Spurs, I wasn't hoping. No, I was hoping, but I wasn't expecting anything.
You didn't really when they got a draw, but it's cool. Like you done your job.
Yeah. So I hope we can scrape a little again, even if it's like a 2-1 or something. I'll take it. I'm hoping that away from home they might struggle a little bit, but yeah.
Can I be honest? The next 3 games, Amenyah, like it's not that they fill me with nerves. It's like beyond the obvious, we need to win because Sunderland, they showed us they're not easy to play. They haven't gone away. As an ignorant non-Sunderland fan, I thought naturally they might do the yo-yo club thing. Shut me up. Over-exceeding could potentially qualify for Europe in some level, shape or form. They made it difficult for us. We're going to need to win. Brentford are doing very well post Thomas Frank and Norgarden and Bournemouth. We obviously got them on Thursday. I believe, forgive me if I'm wrong, Wolves away has been brought forward, obviously, because we're into a final. So we're going to need to, it sounds cliche and we've probably said this a lot, but we're going to need to get points. We're going to need to go on a run. The games are coming thick and fast. We're going to need to keep people fit. Everything's going to be tested now. It's business end of the season and we've done so far to get to this point. Just about doing the mad thing, man. If Odegaard is out, because there are rumors he was out for the Chelsea game. He's not guaranteed to be fit for Sunderland. The same said for Bakayo. And actually, this is said Timber hasn't trained. Maybe that's fitness reasons with Timber in that he's played a lot and he's having the day off and training in other capacities. But does that fill you with any nerves? And you do also have to throw in Marino's now gone for maybe the rest of the season or significant periods.
Yeah, of course. I mean, the Saka one we expect is probably most likely not going to be there. So we kind of course we hope he is. But if he's not, like Madueke, I just have to hope that, you do a job. Now I know that like the face, I agree with the face, but it's
See Joe's when he's got the headphone. Big up Nonny, but
yeah.
No, Nonny's so good until it's time to get a goal or an assist. Man, I got time.
I completely agree with you, but this is the time for him to say, "Yo, listen, like, I know." Obviously, I'm not Saka, but I think he rates himself as well to the point where he will, try to do something. It's at home. The fans in the stadium always back Nonny, no matter what. Even if people know he's not Saka levels, anywhere near Saka levels, the fans.
I can see why he gets bums off seats.
He always, they always chant for him. So I'm hoping that, we have at least 8 or 9 of the main starting guys, and it should be enough to beat Sunderland, you'd like to think. But just get through these next 2-3 games, man. Survive.
You're making me a bit depressed slightly, man. You're making me start to overthink and whatnot. Obviously,
you opened the link about it. It wasn't me. I didn't open the Saka injury
I know,
link.
but then you started talking to me about Noni, and it's like, it's not that I don't believe in Noni. It's just, bro, man can't not have Saka there, bro. Like, you know me. I don't care what people say about Bukayo. Right wing, slap that there. Is that to be fair,
maybe
though,
a little bench 20 minutes. You know what I mean? Maybe.
Yeah, to be fair, Martinelli did provide a great assist for Victor Glocker as he's finding his feet. End of the day, this is why you got depth in it, and we have to support them all. Now, you're not an idiot. You knew, like me and many of the chat, we weren't getting to gnarly in it, but there's no smoke without fire. Like, what did you make of the rumors? Would you have him at Arsenal for what it's worth? And do you think we'll go for him in the summer?
I mean, first of all, I'll definitely have him. The question is, like, where's the piece coming from and where's he going to play is the main thing. Obviously, he's a player that has been, balling since, Milan days. Some might even go, before Milan. But
yeah, Brescia and that.
Yeah, where's the bread coming from for this one? Because he's going to be at least, like, again, he will be in the 70s and 80s and maybe even
Cook
more.
the books
now.
better, man.
Yeah, maybe get him to do a bit of gambling or something. You know what I mean? That's I don't know. Like, if he does a little gambling thing, then he might get some brand deals to Tonali, and then we can try a little something. But again, am I signing Tonali for depth? No, innit? So if it's to be playing, it's probably, Zubimendi's current position realistically. Where
but imagine it would be him. But imagine Tonali, Zubi, Miles Lewis, Skelly, Rice as midfield options.
I'd love it. You know what I mean? But like, again, can we be that greedy when the front line is what needs a bit?
We need that left winger next summer, man.
Yeah. So if the money's there, but make me dream, bro. Make me believe. But I ain't gonna be too gassed because them sources sometimes,
they're banduli. Did you think we'd get anyone in the summer for what it's January for what it's worth, or did you want people?
No, and even like even Arsenal aside, just this January, other than City, I don't really think anyone like. It almost felt like it wasn't even a window.
No one ain't done nothing,
bro. Because literally, so today my plan was even after this, I have to go and record like a tier list of January signings, bro. The list is so dead. I'm there thinking, how am I going to make a video of this, bro? It's the media's.
You're gonna be stretching that 8 minutes, bro.
There's Semenyo and Gahey, yeah. Then the rest is like Brennan Johnson, Gallagher, Strand Larson, Douglas Luiz on loan. Do you know what I mean? Like, bro, Adama Traore is going to be on the list. Like, bro, it's a dead window. So
he signed into the season. He signed. It's January signed of the season. For what he did to João Pedro, you have to rate his thing in that video.
Yeah. So I wasn't expecting anything in January, to be fair. So it's not that surprising, really. We have a lot of depth as well. So
do you think we needed something in January? Bit of a different question.
If you could have got a cheeky midfielder on loan, sure. Like, someone 28, 29 years old. But it's the 1 year where I'll allow them for not, because they've done a lot in the summer. So I'm like, you know what, fairs. If something
it'd have to make too much sense.
Yeah. So I'm not
overly. Last question for you, Amenyah. Amenyah, can you nail down the possible reasons for this season's emergence of Owen goals? Not a joke question, actually curious.
No, Owen Goal, he's someone that last year we were familiar with a little bit, right? And he's someone that we thought, okay, there's something about you. You've got something in the locker. But this season, I would say it's Arsenal's dominance from corners that maybe was so scared. They're like, you know what? We're not going to let you crowd the keeper. So we're going to crowd the keeper ourselves. And lo and behold, if it wasn't Darlow scoring for Leeds, it would have been Calvert-Lewin scoring the header himself, bro. Calvert-Lewin has jumped like that. So a big up Owen Goal. Obviously, again, people complain about like Arsenal attacking and whatnot. Owen Goal wouldn't be scoring as much as he did if Arsenal were not getting in the box as much as possible, right?
You have to engineer the situation.
Has Owen Goal ever scored from 30 yards? Never. Owen Goal is always a fox in the box, and that's the chance that we're creating. So you ain't seen Owen Goal score from 40 yards, you know what I mean?
You ain't. I ain't see. Yeah. To be fair, man, you've done that perfectly. You're right. And to be honest, in theory, Arsenal fans, who cares? You lot, we're going to war this season. It by hook or by crook. By all means, I wish it was sunshine and rainbows. We're scoring from every sort of eventuality. We're playing attractive football. As long as we get the job done and we're doing this in May, let them lot write books and watch our games, because these are these people that tell you they don't rate Arsenal. They're so boring to watch. They tweet it every week. They say it every week. They care more about Arsenal than us, and we care about it a lot. So just people over the line. When we were playing beautiful football and not doing anything, they had question marks. A lot of people are disingenuous. And if all we can do is score from set pieces and own goals and we're bottlers and all of this, make sure your team finishes above us. That's all we've got to say, man. But yeah, man, this has been a great show with Amenyah. Amenyah. You see, I want Amenyah. Like I'm always thinking about him. But yeah, Amenyah, this has been perfect, man. I can't imagine people don't know where you are. It is in the title. Do not be lazy and go and subscribe and follow over there. But let's hear it from the horse's mouth. What content you got to come out? Where can people find you? And the platforms, man. Because guys everywhere, bro.
Daily vids everywhere, man. YouTube is there. Same username as you can see in the chat over there. Instagram, TikTok. I'm there every day, man. Active. No specific content, just literally whatever's happening every day, I'll be there to yap about it some way, shape, or form. So we shall be there. And you can also catch me in May or June, rather, at the parade. So, yeah.
Talk it into existence. We pray, people. Even if you're atheist, start finding God, man. But yeah, man, obviously, I've always got the amount of time for Amenyah. We've done shows together for years. You know, he's the reason I met 21 Savage at the Emirates. Guy's a celebrity and that. So yeah, we appreciate him for giving us his time. Make sure you're going and subscribing to his platform. Again, the man is doing great stuff. Turn on your notification bells. Hey, it's always a pleasure, man. And also, big up you in the chat, man. So yeah, and on that note, let's see this go for 1,000th time.
Go on then. What a cross it was.
Who's
back post? Who's back post?
Have you look? Can I just say, yeah, he's got
okay. There's no friendly fire. No, but honestly, good goal. It's a good goal. No friendly fire.
Look. All these medals, and man can't see that. They're gonna listen to that.
Against this right back, Charlie, definitely.
Like